For those of you I haven't met before, my name is Morgan. I'm a designer and producer at Eastside Games. I also manage my own startup called Hidden Door Interactive, where we just soft launched. And so my background is primarily in console for the first 8 years, and I thought I'd talk about one of the most startling differences I encounter being indie as opposed to console. I don't know if there's a lot of console people here, but biz dev. So my slides aren't working, but whatever. So I'll be looking down. But so if you're your own boss or you're part of a really small team, odds are you're sharing a lot of the biz dev load. I know in console, I wasn't a part of that. I didn't really speak to anyone who was in marketing, who was responsible for, working with either publishers or platforms for the product. Or licensing. So I definitely found that this was one of the steepest learning curves, doing that shameless self-promotion, going out there and talking to the people you need to talk to and being professional. It's, this crazy balancing act, at least for me, between art and design and then business. And then I have, two programmers who don't do a lot of the business. They're kind of there to support me, but so if I can summarize the biggest takeaways from my experiences so far, it's these. Every day you're going to be reminded of things that you could be doing better. Just last night, I introduced myself to someone really awesome at Chartboost for the second time, whose email I unintentionally ignored, as he pointed out. So, this stuff happens. It really sucks, and it can keep you up at night, but you just got to be better the next time. You're not going to be perfect every time. And in the end, it comes down to resources and bandwidth. So focusing on what you can do and doing it well is key, and, always being polite and apologetic if you drop the ball. Getting seen or noticed by reviewers, media, publishers, and whoever else you feel would help your project, it really takes a lot of tenacity and work. That's something that, I have to devote constant time and energy to. And sometimes it feels like you're just being ignored. I've sent so many test builds out, to reviewers, and not everyone is going to respond. You can't take it personally. Some are going to respond, and, even if they don't respond, they may still write a review. You just got to, look for it. So being tenacious and understanding that everyone has an opinion. Some people I've noticed, especially when I'm talking to more business at conferences, you can run into the odd jerk. Sometimes the most original ideas are going to receive the most mixed feedback, especially before, it's actually out in public and, the market has decided for itself. Don't take it personally, even if they are trying to make it personal to you, you have to treat it with a business perspective. Take what you can learn from it. Don't burn bridges. Move forward and try and take the feedback and turn it into positive momentum for your project or your company, right? I mean, even if it's you really realize, I did go about this all wrong, just don't go home and cry. Just, come up with a new strategy or ask them, for suggestions. A lot of people don't expect that after harsh criticism. One thing I learned really quickly is it's surprisingly easy to get an investor, publisher, or interested third party in your project, but it's a lot harder to resist the urge to settle, rush launch, or choose the right partner. I actually have a list of company reps that have tried to get me to email them my source code because they're going to make me big in China, so much money, but just email the game. That's it. So, there's a lot of sort of predators out there. You have to really know what they're trying to get from you. Don't just be like, oh no, this expensive company is really interested in my product all of a sudden. How high can I jump for you? I personally believe in just taking your time. Your game's not going anywhere. So yeah, basically give everything its, sorry, giving everything its proper time and chance. Working with publishers and investor means sharing the vision. You have to weigh the creative freedom with perceived commercial success all the time. Knowing what you want from your project and before negotiations is really important. I can speak from personal experience. If your project is healthy, you can find the right people in time. That is, if that's even something that you want. You don't need to work with someone else at all. Finally, like, my biggest takeaway from everything, like through all the stresses of money and, meetings and lawyers, contracts, it's just treating your project, if you can, as an investment in yourself. It's a really healthy attitude. When a big budget team game doesn't perform as expected, the losses, are usually in money, and you can determine a bad return on investment based on that. But being part of a smaller team, and especially one that you take stake and responsibility in, means the investment most notably is on you. Your skills, contacts, wisdom, everything you learn should be among the highlights of your project, I definitely believe. And it's something that money can't buy. So to wrap it up, I would just say, just keep at her. Sometimes it takes the perfect storm, to really launch your game and your product, or just meet the right person that you can connect with and who shares your vision. Just watch out for the jerks, because they're definitely out there. So.